Hey y'all, we're doing a road trip today going to Poland. This is the route we'll be taking. You'll be dropping down in Warsaw's Frederick Chopin Airport. We'll be going north to Gdansk, southeast, hook over back to Krakow, and then south again. You'll be taking the Fiat 126, the hottest and only car in communist Poland. It's known as the Maluk, or you know, toddler, because of the size. I think it looks neat. You'll be eating kielbasa and Polish beer, so be sure to stock up. And away we go. So first stop is Ulica Freda 16 in Krakow. This place is the birthplace of Marie Curie, the founder of the theory of radiation, as well as polonium and radium. Though she's associated with Paris, she was born in Poland. She was born Maria Salomea Sklodowska. The home was built in the 18th century, destroyed by the Nazis, rebuilt. Now it's a museum. From Krakow, we'll be heading north to Gdansk, or Danzig for you Americans. This was founded in 1945 as a shipyards. Thousands of ships have been built there over the years. But for our purposes, it's important because it was the place where the Solidarity movement was founded. Solidarity being the first non-government associated trade union in a communist country, eventually became very popular and led to the downfall of communism in Poland. And it all started here in a shipyards in the north of Poland. From there, we'll be heading south to Poznan and to visit their old market square. This place is important because the market square is the lifeblood of any European town. It's where you'd go to do commerce, as well as, to protect yourselves from invaders. You'd go inside the walls and then close the door and then wait it out. Of course, the walls of old Poznan, they've been taken down. That building, the fancy old one with the spire, that's the Town Hall of Poznan. It dates back to 1560. The other multicolored buildings, those are all newer because the older buildings got destroyed by the Nazis. From there, we'll be heading south to the Turo coal mine. Now, Turo coal mine is part of Poland's coal mining industry, one of their biggest industries, as well as one of the biggest coal mining industries in Europe. It is a massive open air mine, so think just a giant, massive pit with excavating coal. It's called lignite. It's a low grade form of coal. It was formed in 1740, and what's interesting about this place is the main company's mining permit was set to expire this year, but they actually got an extension for several more years. This is quite unpopular with the surrounding countries of, if you see this little circle that's around the mine, of Germany to the east and Czechia pretty much to the immediate south. Poland's neighbors don't like having this big, dirty, environmentally not good mine in their backyard. So it's kind of an international conflict at the moment. Moving on from there, we'll be going to the Skull Chapel. Now, this Skull Chapel is one of many ossuaries, which are, think of an above ground catacombs with just massive amounts of human remains. So this was formed in 1776 in the small town of Kudowa by Vaclav Tomasek, a priest. Now, these bones were taken from casualties in the 30 Years' Wars, the Silesian Wars, as well as various plagues. So this is important because Poland is a majority Catholic nation, and it's important to understand how Catholics celebrate and how Catholic art manifests in some ways that might be odd to us as Americans. From there, we'll be moving to the Auschwitz Memorial, one of the saddest places in Poland, but a very important place. I can't do the full story justice, but It was originally a camp for transient workers in World War One, became a Polish army barracks, and then became a concentration and extermination camp for the Nazis. It was originally one camp, but before being expanded to multiple complexes by the Nazis, and it was mainly utilized to hold not only Jews but also Gentile Poles, Roma, political dissidents, POWs, anyone that the Nazis didn't like would end up there, and most did not survive. Today, it stands as a museum and memorial to all those lost, and it's important because if we memorialize this stuff, it helps so that something as tragic as it does not happen again. Now, from there, we'll be going to Wawel Castle in Krakow. It is the site of the Polish monarch. It's like their, domain. It's also where the Polish monarch was traditionally uh, crowned and ordained as king. It was formed by Casimir III, also known as the Great, in the 13th and 14th century. And what's interesting about Wawel Castle is that over multiple years of construction, it actually shows evidence of various architectural schools of thought. So, like, it's got a bit of neoclassical, a bit of Gothic architecture, a bit of Baroque architecture in this massive and I think kind of cool looking complex. It was the first UNESCO World Heritage Site in the world ever. And, since Poland is not a monarchy anymore, it is an art museum. So I think that would be kind of nice. Now, our final stop in Poland is the Tatra Mountains. Now, the Tatra Mountains are a massive and beautiful mountain range that form the southern geographical border between Poland and Slovakia. They're also important because they serve as a habitat for various endangered fauna, such as the Tatra chamois, which is kind of nice, kind of mountain goat looking thing over there. Uh, it's a very beautiful place with various small, resort towns, kind of like the Alps. It was formed in ancient times. It's a mountain range, and I thought it was pretty cool looking and a nice end to our road trip. That is all. I hope you enjoyed this presentation.